Asking me, should I go to college, is a really loaded question. College is a fun time of parties, football games, and one of the best ways to make lifelong friends at a fraternity or sorority, or just being a party crasher. It's like asking Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson's characters in Wedding Crashers if they should get married. Of course you should get married. It's one of the best quotes in the movie was from Vince saying, "Who gives a shit? It's a great band. It's a bad band. It's like pizza, baby." He's talking about the wedding.
It's a great band, it's a bad band, it's like pizza, baby.
Going to college sounds fun because of all the crazy times you'll have, similar to the wedding reception party. But when you get into it, you really need to think about the long game. In this video, I'm going to tell you my college story, why you should go to college, why you shouldn't go to college, what alternatives you have, and if I did it all over again, what I'd do, because the main goal for me was to make money after college. If you stick to the end, I'll give you my recommendation of the best path of making money and whether or not you need to go to college for it. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with my college story, and let's go back to when I graduated high school, which was the year 2000. We were classified as the smoke-free class of 2000, which was a grand honor. In high school, I'd skip out in early periods to go golfing. I had the time of my life in senior year of high school and didn't really know what I wanted to do next or where I wanted to go. I thought I wanted to be an engineer, specifically a civil engineer, so I was focused on finding colleges that had good programs for doing just that. I ended up applying all over the west coast of the US, but found a home at Oregon State University, the Beavers. I ended up going there my first year of college because of the great engineering program that they had, and it was close to my house. I lived in Portland, Oregon at the time, and the university was only an hour or so away from Portland. And when I got there, I found out quickly that I loved to party. It was a crazy time. I had this vivid memory, still being a freshman year, of having a keg in my dorm room with 30 people crammed inside to the point where we couldn't even open the door. It was a complete fire hazard, and we even had someone that was hanging outside the window off the second floor balcony because we literally didn't have any more space in there. It was a wild year, and I made a lot of friends that year. And during that time, I tried to find myself and figure out what I truly wanted to be when I grew up. It's hard at that time to really figure out what you want to do and who you want to be. It's not fair to be thrown from high school straight into college to say you need to pick a degree and a path, and you may or may not even use it. It's hard to think about what is truly important and who you'll become as you get into a career after college. As I started exploring my time as an engineer and thinking about what that would really mean, I decided it was not the path for me. It could have been that my ROTC training class at 5 a.m. that got my thoughts going, or it may have been the amount of time I was spending at the gym trying to balance out the crazy parties with some kind of gym and nutrition routine, but I was just so confused about what to do with my life. I didn't have clarity, and it was really hard to think about what I wanted to do after high school. So, what does any normal 19-year-old kid do that's confused? Well, I finished out the year, I got a job at a place called Spot Security. Spot Security made me think about what I wanted to do with my life. This was the first time that I was introduced to Tony Robbins. If you don't know who he is, go watch my Tony Robbins video on the channel to learn more. And during this summer job, I started to think about why I was going to college in the first place. I started to think about not going back and just focusing on building up a career in sales. I was dialing into people's homes to set up home security appointments, and it was a wild time when I think back on those moments where I was thinking about not going back to college. So basically at Spot Security, my job was to call into people's homes and figure out, can I get someone to come in and install a home security system? It was my first sales job. It was my first real sales job. Just open up the phone numbers and trying to call people when they're at dinner and getting hung up on. And that really inspired me into sales. And surprise, I did end up going back to school, but I'll get into that in a bit. One thing happened to me that altered my reality and shot me straight back into thinking about how to get more education. It was because of September 11th, 2001. And I'll never forget sitting at the desk in the Spot Security office early in the morning and seeing what was happening. It was a complete shock to my system and validated my choice to go back into school for more education. I don't know why that feeling came over me until that day, but I questioned going back into school. I didn't go back to Oregon State University, but I did head back to University of Oregon, the Oregon Ducks, who will be national champions in football in the next 3 to 5 years because of Dan Lanning's coaching style. So thank you for the future championship, Dan. I'm not going to get into the rest of my journey, but I will tell you that I spent the rest of my time becoming a business and economics graduate, where I went on to follow that traditional path of getting a job after college and working my way up the corporate ladder. So why should you go to college? You'll follow the traditional path, the path that most people follow. You'll be in line with what your parents want you to do, and what society wants you to do is to give you a pat on the back for getting that degree. You'll also be able to leverage that degree into a traditional job in an industry that looks up to those that have finished schooling to that level. You'll be able to build a network of classmates who are going to go on and do great things. And by being from the same school, there's a lot that goes into that connection. It goes one step further with a fraternity or sorority. You'll have lifelong brothers and sisters if you go that route. I never did. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, it's just a personal choice. College is a time for learning and exploring yourself. You'll find clubs, groups, social gatherings that will help you explore who you want to become. Building yourself up into who you want to become is one of the most powerful things that you can do. This will give you the time and space to really think about your future, if you have the luxury of doing this. The top 3 reasons you should go to college are: number 1, building your network of lifelong friends and potential future colleagues. Number 2, the time and space to think about who you are and what you truly want to be. And number 3 is the baseline of learning from courses and classes that you can't get anywhere else. These are good reasons to go, but you need to ask yourself, is it really worth the time and money invested to do this? So think about that question, sit with it for a little while, and now let's get into why you shouldn't go to college. There are many reasons here too. It really depends on what lens you're looking through to make a decision about your life. This is a fork in the road. Should I go to college or not? You should think about college as a time of exploration and trying to figure out who you are, but do you really need to spend 4 years of your life and $100,000 or whatever the cost is when you're watching this video? Yeah, you'll find great friends and you'll have the time and space to think about who you are and what you want out of life, but do you really need to go to a 4-year college to figure that out? Imagine a world where you kept this $100,000 and were able to get the same experience by building it on your own outside of the traditional path. Open your eyes to the world we have now and think about these questions. What do I want out of life? Who do I want to become? And why was I put on this earth? These are big questions that you really need to ponder when you're truly thinking about getting into college. Now, if you're an athlete in high school and wanting to continue on the train of building your athletic career and it's all about sports, fine. But if you're in the 99% of people that aren't going to be professional athletes, it's time to think about this differently. Since the internet has become a much more powerful outlet to find valuable information, you could get the knowledge without spending the money. Imagine yourself as a potential future leader at a company. You would think you need to go and take all the classes through the traditional path, but no. With the internet, you can now audit classes for free. Here are 8 classes you could take to become a better leader without even going to college. And it's a very unique opportunity. Harvard University has a course called Exercising Leadership Foundational Principles. Yale University has a course called Connected Leadership. University of Pennsylvania, Building High-Performing Teams. Columbia University, Crisis Resource Management. Dartmouth, Super Bosses, Managing Talent and Leadership. Cornell, Structuring Business Agreements for Success. University of Pennsylvania, Improving Communication Skills. Yale, Introduction to Negotiation. Some even offer an optional certificate for a fee, and then this is getting the Ivy League knowledge for free. Imagine going through any of these courses and being able to recognize that when someone asks you about it, that you could just rethink what you're trying to get out of college, and if it truly is the knowledge, there isn't a need to go get that degree. If you're looking for leveraging that degree into a job, think about that. What is the industry and job you really want out of life? If you're watching this video, I assume it's not a doctor in a hospital or a specialty surgeon who needs to go to medical school. Look, there are always going to be needs for specialty schools at a traditional school for roles like doctors, nurses, and surgeons. But if you're thinking about college as a place to go get a 4-year degree for a traditional thing like language arts, business, engineering, or something similar, think about it differently. There are alternative ways of capturing that knowledge without going this traditional path. So what are the alternatives out there? Well, there are untold paths you can take that will get you the knowledge needed to build up a career that you're passionate about. This is not a trick. If you're looking to build your own business, find a career in sales, business, or anything related to working with other people, there are ways of trying alternatives before committing to this 4-year path at a traditional college. Here are a few things you can consider. Number 1 is a Google certificate. Number 2 is a YouTube education. 3 is those Ivy League courses and TED Talks. 4 is digital writing. And 5 is Coding Academy. So let's get into each of these. Now, a Google certificate has come out to be able to take certifications in 6 different areas. Some of these are brand new. So 6 months ago, they didn't have these, and they're adding more as time goes on. So the 6 areas are 1, cybersecurity, 2 is data analytics, 3 is digital marketing, e-com, 4 is IT support, then we've got project management and UX design. Once you go through this 3 to 6 month program, yeah, that's not years, it's 3 to 6 months. On the other side of getting this certificate from Google, there are Fortune 1000 companies that want to hire you because of this certificate and the skill that you have. Companies are looking at hiring people into these roles that don't necessarily go through traditional approved college systems. There are so many open roles for these skills that companies will hire you when you get the certificate, and it's a powerful alternative, and it's one of the only things that I've found where it's a few $100s to go through versus spending tens of thousands on this traditional education model. Google is disrupting the way education's delivered. And this is why we're seeing these free courses come out from traditional schools. They have to compete with what's happening. And in order to do that, they need to make sure people understand they have these free courses available to them. Now let's move on to YouTube. YouTube education is a term I made up. I'm sure someone's used it, but I'm just using it for now. There isn't a specific thing that YouTube put together for you to get a certification on a specific thing. That's not what I mean. This is you finding the information you need on a specific topic. That's it. There's so much free content on YouTube that you can get the same level of education as someone going through traditional education. Go and type in any subject you want to learn. There's a YouTube channel from someone that you can learn from, like what you're watching right now. From there, you can take that skill and turn it around and build the life and business around it. All right, so let's go ahead and try, like after this video, go and type in how to start a landscaping business or how to start a painting business. It really doesn't matter what the thing is. There's a YouTube video for it, and someone can show you the way for free on YouTube. This is the most powerful platform on earth, and it's important that you understand the power, so you go exploring and let me know in the comments what you find. Now, the next thing is getting your free Ivy League education. And we did talk about those 8 courses that exist, and there's a variety of other courses online. You could go after a liberal arts degree or cybersecurity, and the range is wide, and something you should look at if you want to say, I went to Harvard. You technically could by just attending classes through their free portal of classes. If you type into the Google's free Harvard classes, and it will take you to a list on their site of 142 courses they have available to you. Try it and think about other schools you might want to attend and see what they offer for free. There might be a way for you to get a piece of that education for free today. Next up is the coding academy piece that I was talking about. Yeah, you can be a coder, and yes, there are ways of doing this through YouTube or free education, and getting the skills to code and build your own digital products is very underrated. Any business would seek you out with the skills to be a computer science engineer. Yeah, of course, there's gonna be traditional colleges that you could go through to get that computer science degree, but you could also just find the resources online, learn how to do it, and then be able to go and figure out what position or job, if that's what you want to do, or build your own thing. Now, the last piece is digital writing. And this is the most powerful thing on our planet. This is the most underrated skill. You might be saying, Andrew, what the heck are you talking about? It's just writing. Writing powers everything. From ads, scripts, movies, TV shows, websites, pages, podcasts, products, all of it. All the content on the internet and on TV are powered by the written word. This is by far the best thing you can do if you decide to go to college or not. If I could go back to being 21 again, the first thing I'd do is take creative writing courses. I'd figure out the mechanics of everything that is capturing attention and keeping it. This is that one skill that will help you build your business online, whether you go to college or not. Every post, tweet, blog article, or email you see is digital writing, and it's powerful once you understand how to access this and activate creator mode. Anyone can be a creator online, and that's the beauty of digital writing. It allows anyone to create their own voice, their own brand, and become who they want to be in the future. I put together a 5-day email course that you can access at activatecreatormode.com. And if you click the link below to sign up, you'll learn why this skill is the number one thing you need, whether you go to college or not. College is going to be a personal choice, and I'm not going to tell you to go or not. That's up to you. But I am going to tell you that no matter what you do, digital writing is the way to make money in your life. I wish I had picked up this skill 20 years ago, but it's never too late. So sign up for my educational email course that will teach you how to leverage this into activating creator mode and building your online empire. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.